Hello everyone, in this video I'll be doing an electronic review. The item that I'll be reviewing is a smartphone by a company called Blue, okay, and slogan is bold like us. It's not very known brand. That they do make a lot of smartphones, Android versions, and you can buy versions from prices from around 30 to 40 pounds. That's probably the cheapest budget phone you can get. But it does, for that kind of price, you do get a decent spec-wise smartphone. Now this is the one that I'm talking about. Okay, it's called Diamond M. This is meant to be the cheapest budgetable smartphone by Android. Okay, so exactly what comes with it now. This smartphone is only 3G and 2G, so it won't go to 4G. So that's one of the downsides of that. But because it's a budget phone, you won't really get them all these better high specs on a smartphone like this. On top of that, it is a 5-inch smartphone, so that's a good point. The fact that it is a decent sized phone. Comes with a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor. Plus, it comes with 4 gig internal memory, which obviously, if you're a very heavy smartphone user, this is not the perfect one because this is for those who don't really download anything or do anything with their smartphones other than text and call, or maybe add 1 or 2 apps downloads. Okay, so this is the only reason why. Um, it has 512 RAM, and it can take up to 64 gig of micro SD memory card. So that's another good point. If you're gonna save pictures and obviously no memory in the phone, you can also just back it up on your micro SD memory card. Or if you got a Google Drive, you can just save it on the only kind of like any drives where you can just save it. So that's you got a lot of options for saving stuff. It has a 5 megapixel rear camera, and decent. Obviously, it's not the best quality, but obviously at 5 megapixel camera. Now, the one good thing I want to talk about is the fact that um, most smartphones cost around £40. Okay, they tend to not have a front camera, and usually a lot of people like doing a lot of video calling by looking, a lot of video calling. Okay, so the only thing that actually stands out in this one is the fact that it has a front camera of 2 megapixels as well. So that actually stands out. So you can actually do video calling with this smartphone. It also has a LED flash as well at the back. It has a very nice, it's like a diamond style back cover. So it's very 3D as well, the design. Um, and obviously it has a MediaTek 6580 1.3 gigahertz quad core processor, like I mentioned. Micro USB charging port. It takes a while to charge, to be honest. It's not a fast charge smartphone. Normal 3.5 headphone jack. It is a little bit difficult to actually take this off, to be honest. Okay, so as soon as you take it off, that's where the battery is, as you can see. It is quite big. So overall, when you're actually using the phone, to be honest, it doesn't really matter how big the battery is. This phone, the battery doesn't really last that long. It will still run out very easily compared to all these new smartphones that's coming out with fast charge, and they last way longer than this, to be honest. But obviously, can't really complain because of the pricing. It can take 2 SIMs as well. The first SIM is a micro SIM one, and SIM 2 is a nano SIM. Okay, so you can put 2 SIMs in and use 2 SIMs at the same time. Okay, so that's another good point about this smartphone. One of the downsides of this smartphone is the fact that they tend to not switch on that often. Okay, so obviously this is probably the second one now. Okay, what happens is you probably get it for the first time, you switch it on, okay, and you use it. Just say after the charge runs out, you won't switch on. It won't even charge. It's literally blank. So that's the one downside, because it's a very unreliable smartphone, and very unknown. That's the whole point. So, to be honest, in my opinion, go for a smartphone that's very known and reliable. Okay, and you know what I'm talking about, them top brands at the moment: Sony, Samsung, LG, etc. This is a smartphone that's has been it's basically assembled in California and made in China. Okay, so it is an American phone, officially. And obviously you can get other designs, but to be honest, the one downsides I would say about this, you can find other China made smartphones such as THL that you can get for 40 to 50 pounds, and in my opinion they're more reliable. That's all I'm saying, okay? Because this phone does not switch on very often, or majority of this blue smartphones, most of them won't switch on. Okay, that's the downside of this smartphone, but it's something that I wouldn't recommend in my opinion. After checking it out, trying it out, and I would recommend you to go for more known and reliable ones. So thank you for watching my video. Please give a like and subscribe.